Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about getting to know yourself again and how you choose to see things is what actually builds your experiences. So I feel like from when you're born, you are brought into this world by your parents, even if it's not, a single parent household, you were created by two parents, as in a masculine energy and a feminine energy coming together to create you, another masculine and feminine energy in one. So, with that being said, when you are brought into this world, you're brought up on the ideas of that parent or set of parents that you do have, their way of seeing the world, because they are the first people to introduce you to acknowledging the existence of the external world around you and what is happening outside and being able to have points of references and things like that. So when you grow up in this environment, that's not to say that it's inherently bad. It's just, they are teaching you what it is to survive in this world. And so when you learn those sets of maybe terms and conditions, let's say, of how to live life, you will eventually grow up to internalize those things and believe that to be your normal and to be and to be the way that life should be lived. But it's not something that should be done, because if not, if you didn't have your own spirit, you would have lived out the exact same life as your parents. And there's a reason why even at the age of young teen, adolescent time, uh, you tend to hear acts of rebellion coming out, people not wanting to do things the way that people have been telling them to do things, and them wanting to go against the system and all that stuff. And I think it's because that's the age that most people's spiritual natures kind of wake them up again, and they're like, no, this is not what I want. This is not how I want to live my life. And this to me is something just doesn't seem right. Like they might not be able to articulate or decipher what exactly is giving them this pain or what is making them feel frustrated. But what it is that when you have certain ideas and thoughts clouding what works for you, you end up putting yourself in a spiritual cage. And when you're in that cage, especially when it's been put there by someone else, it is a lot harder for you to get out of those cages without feeling like you are, you know, let's say, I don't even know, bruv. I don't even know what word I'm looking for right now. We'll skip past it. But yeah, like, it just feels like you're in a trap. You feel frustrated. You feel like you're suffocating yourself. And that is where the acts of rebellion come from. It's the need to be free, the need to let one's spiritual nature flourish and be creative as it instinctively wants to be. So yeah, with that all being said, because you see that as your norm, you want to break out of that and create your own norm, your own way of living, your own way of seeing the world. So around that time is the time when a lot of people tend to just do their own thing, and they might not know who they are, and they might not know like what their purpose is, but they have this blind faith. They have this, belief in themselves that they will eventually get there, wherever that is. And with that being said, in order to get there, you have to go through certain experiences, and you have to, like, see the world from a place that is maybe not necessarily just in your own head. So because I see life as like, and when I say life, I mean life on earth. I see life on earth as something that is quite grounding. the earth is like a ground material. It is something that is stable. It's something that holds things and can make things grow. It's a feminine energy that produces a masculine energy. So I'll use an example of like a building. Imagine you have like a really, really top high top building. Yeah, like the building's just like high. So you're on level 10, for instance. Like let's say that's like when you're 10 years old. But then before you get to level 11, there's like 9 levels in between. So every month that goes past, you kind of have to deal with something different. But it's all wrapped up in a similar lesson because by the time you get to stage 10.9 and you're ready to do 11, you have to fight like one of the biggest obstacles that maybe at the time when you were in level 10 would have been something that made you want to shit yourself. So, yeah, like just life has a way of pushing you in a direction that suits what you want to do, but you have to be willing to take those steps to get to know yourself and take certain thoughts and ideas out that don't correlate with who you are anymore or who you're trying to be. So yeah, I think that's it, you know, to be fair. Yeah. Yeah. And another point is I feel like when you are doing these things, like the the worst thing you could do for yourself is to basically try and hold on to who you once were. Uh, there's no happiness there because who you once were is someone that doesn't actually exist anymore. And if you're trying to go backwards and you really, really want to go backwards, then you know the universe just might give it to you just to show you that this is not what you actually want. Like you've moved past that. You're doing different things now. So, you know, never be scared to jump into something new because it's within those situations that you can really learn more about yourself and how you relate to others and also how you relate to yourself, like mainly. So yeah, like try and approach it with a mind state of, you know, this is like it's like a clean state. Obviously it's easier said than done because we do when once a thought or a concept is now in your subconscious mind, it is a lot harder to get rid of. It's like a program in a computer that's been there for decades, and it's like, you know, it's built up such a big archive, let's say, that it might be harder to uninstall all those things at once. It will take a bit more time. So yeah, with that being said, accept, you know, the fact that maybe these things aren't easy to get rid of immediately, but eventually along the way they will shed and it will lighten your load a lot more. And you know, there's always time to appreciate. There's always time to sit back and say, wow, like I've actually gone through so much, or maybe what I've gone through, it wasn't the easiest, but I came out the other side. That's you going on to the next, you know, level 10 or 20 or 30 or, you know, 80, whatever it is for you. And seeing from that perspective of a clean slate being done for you, because that's what you deserve. Like, you don't need to sit there and wallow in things that don't exist anymore. Even the things I've said before this in this video, like technically it doesn't exist because it's already been done. It's done. It's something that happened. Yeah, it's something that happened. And you know, we can get so caught up on thinking about the past that we cloud what's actually in front of us or something that could actually be really beneficial for us to experience. And yeah, So yeah, that's all I really want to say about redefining yourself or like getting to know yourself again. And yeah, like have fun with it. Yeah. Just have fun with it at every moment you can. Even in the darkest of times, try and think of something that is like fun to you, something that you can really smile at, something that you can really enjoy. And yeah, it will make all the steps that little bit easier to overcome. So yeah, that's the end of this one. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. I feel like I need like a sign off or something. But no, no, it's cool. It's all good. I'll see you later.